Tell, Cockerel, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerel, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel. Jose gets himself around, always talking Spurs wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell, Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong every time I play along? Tell, Cockerel, the show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerel. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel, the show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerel.
Oh, that's a bit tiny, isn't it? Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning, depending where you are in the world. That's better. I hope you're all well, and welcome to Predictions League results for week 6. I hope that everyone's well. I haven't even told anyone I'm on. Things we do, eh? Things we do. All right, I better post it. Otherwise, we'll get no traction. We'll get no one here. Everyone will forget about the show. Which, if they do, it just means that we have a quick show. Bear with me a second. I will be with you all. Post it there. Oh, did it? And let me share it here. Ryan, you're the only one here at the moment, unless if you're still here. Good evening, Ryan. I hope you are well, mate. I hope you are well. Right, send that. And you're still there, mate. Good. God bless you. God bless you. I will be with you in a second. Just make sure I get it out to the crowds. Right, that's enough. If people come, they come, and if they didn't, they didn't. Right, yes. Yes, we are here. Nice result for you, Ryan, at the weekend. I didn't see the game, but obviously it was a nice result for you. The 1-1 draw. You take that point. I was surprised because I didn't watch. I watched the highlights. Was it yesterday or today? I either watched the highlights yesterday or today, and I didn't realise that Pereira had selected more or less the team that had won in midweek in the cup. So he made like 9 changes to the cup side from the last league game, and he kept more or less the same team, and you ended up playing really well, and you got a decent point. Yeah, you played really well in the second half, especially I think. I think in the first half it's a bit more even, but I think in the second half you did it. And you're saying to me because I didn't see the game. Yeah, we played much better. Was disappointed to concede late, but happy to get off the mark. We played 4 at the back as well, which was good to see. So does he? Oh, does he play 3 at the back then? I don't know. All these Tinker Tailor Soldier Spies, eh? All these Tinker Tailor Soldier Spies. Anyway, people not here. I'm going to carry on because it means I can have a quick show. Right, we start off as we do every week with Predict the Prem and Predict the Prem this week, or Predict the Football Prem, or whatever it's called. And this week it looks as such. Top of the league is still me, but I think I've been cut down by a point. I think I was 20 ahead. I'm now 19. So I'm top from Kevin Clark, who's on 56. Interestingly, though, look at my goal difference. My goal difference is plus 20. And everybody else that you can see is minus points. They're all on minus goals. And I'm still on plus 20, which means I'm doing something right with the amount of goals that I'm predicting, more or less, because I'm still in the good goal difference. So yeah, so I'm top by 19 points from Kevin Clark. Vindaloo is in third with 48. Scott C is fourth with 45. Then you've got Jess and Graham both tied on 42 points, but Jess has a 4-goal swing. 4-goal swing Jess has on Graham. And then you have Paul G and Shemtam on 41. There's a 3-goal swing between Paul G and Shemtam. And then you have Archer on 40, who's missed 1 game. Paul G's actually doing well because he's missed 10 games. He's missed 1 week, Paul G. Chris Peters is then ahead of Neil and Fiona, all on the same points. Goal difference again. Goal difference again. And then you have Darren on 37, Tot Spurs ahead of Ryan on goal difference again. A 7-goal swing. Daz Reynolds is on 31. Carl Simpson is on 29. Sir Rob Belcher is on 26. Cy Dancer, who's only played 3 weeks out of the 6, is on 25. Ed M is on 23. Patrick has only played 1 week, on 5. And Quez has a point. So well done, the people there. And now I come out of that. And can I say good evening to you, Daz? I've seen that you've joined. So good evening, Daz. I hope you're well. At least Europe won the Ryder Cup. And guess what, Daz? I missed Friday and Saturday's matches, and I got home, or I flew in from Spain Sunday, and I managed to catch the singles. I think the singles had already started. No, the singles hadn't started by the time I got home. I think I got home at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and the singles started about 5 o'clock. Oh, it's nerve wracking, wasn't it? Watching the singles, we were up by 6. We were up in 6 games. There was 6 blues early on, and then after that, it was just a red tide, wasn't it? It was like it's like when you got the Conservatives versus Labour, and Labour have got that red wall. It's exactly like it was like. It was like a red wall. But yeah, great. It was great that they won, and yeah, I think it leads to spicy stuff in 2 years' time in Ireland. It will lead to spicy stuff. Right, move on, and we go to fantasy football. For those that do it, fantasy football is, and we shall show you fantasy football. Right, fantasy football. Right, fantasy football is as such. As you can see, we've got 62 teams, and therefore I can only show the bottom 11 for the time being. And I only ever shout out the ones that have gone up, which are green. Anyone else has remained white or has got a red has gone down. A white means you haven't changed places at all. But this week, up into 58th, you got Alan, Rakdos Madness with his team venture. Up to 57th, you got Scott C with Scott's team. Neil has gone up into 54th with his son's farewell. And Paul Greaves has gone up into 53rd with his Wish Upon a Star team. And then the top of the table looks like, oops, I don't want to do that, do we? Let me have a look. Oh, no, it's a schedule. League and Cups. Eltel Cockerel. Here we go. Right. Then we read Kate from Kate and Jim is up into 49th place. Destiny 5 has climbed into 42nd. Kuva has gone into 41st. Marlon has gone up into 38th. Brendan Tull has gone into 35th. Ryan, good old Ryan, who's here, has gone up into 34th with 54 points. Ryan this week. Positive, yeah, you're right, mate. 34th is good. Good, it moves you in the right direction. So Rob Belcher has gone up into 32nd with his 67 points. Big points for Rob this week. And then you've got in 29th Adrian Chia with his 58 points. Side Dancer has gone into 28th with his 51 points. Brian's up to 26th with his 58 points. And Tot Josh is up to 25th with his 57 points. Sanjiv has gone up to 20th with 64 points this week. Ronnie has got 67 points. Good haul, Ronnie, and has gone up into 19th. Tanju has gone up into 18th with 64 points. Fiona has gone up to 15th, 82 points. Massive haul this week for Fiona, 82 points. And then we've got Archer, Jim Archer, as it says here, another person, massive haul, 82 points. He's gone up into 13th. Robbie, 72 points, has gone up into 12th. And there he is, El Tel Coquerel, 75 points, gets El Tel into 9th place. Darren, with 68 points, has gone into 8th place. Nick Collison with 74 points has gone into 7th. Ed M with his 74 points has gone up into 5th. And Steve with his Rough Diamonds and 77 points gets him up into 4th. But the leader this week, the leader is Mark Oliver with Butter Pants. So you've got two previous leaders that he's overtaken. So he's overtaken. Last week's leader was Anthony Herbert. And Anthony's now dropped into 3rd. Ryan, who I think was 2nd last week. Sorry, 3rd last week. No, he was 2nd. Ryan was 2nd last week and remains 2nd now, Ryan T. And Butterpants, Mark Oliver, has gone into top place with 398 points. Person who's top, Mark Butterpants, he's got 398, Ryan. 398, the person is at the top. But the thing is that some people, I've not used any chips yet. Some people have used chips. I've not used any chips. If you've got chips, you've got a chance. You don't know who's used chips. I mean, if I look at the leader this week, his team got 74 points. Had Ryer in goal. Pedro Porro got 1. Gabriel got 13. Conser got 2. Yeah, the midfielder Kudos got 2. Vert's got 2. Reinders got 2. Semenyo got him 7. Bowen got 9. João Pedro got 2, and he had Haaland as double as his captain with 32 points. Look at that on the bench. He had Kelleher on the bench. Had he played Kelleher instead of Raya, that was an extra 6 points. And had he played Guehi instead of Pedro Porro or Konza, that would have given him either an extra 5 or 6 points. So Mark Oliver, who supports Liverpool. Mark Oliver is a Liverpool supporter. I just noticed that in his fan leagues, Liverpool. But he's done well. He tops the league this week. Good evening, Drula. I hope you are well. You're just in time. You're just in time for the nitty gritty. There's not many of you here, and I'm going to ask you the question as I normally do: is how many points do you think you got this week in predictions? How many points do you guys think you got in predictions? I haven't done the averages this week. I'll do them now. Right, okay, right, okay. No, I can see what the averages are. Drula says, "Oh my God, I had a shocker. Big up, Jose. Did you have a shocker?" Drula says she got 2. Daz says he got 2. Did Drula get 2? Did Daz get 2? Good evening, Ronnie, sir. I hope you are well. Drula, yeah, you did get 2, Drula. Daz, yeah, you did get 2. Any Ryan G and Ronnie, you're both here. Any idea of how many points you guys got this week? Ryan G says he got 8 with a maybe, but I'm only if you say 8, that's what I'm looking for. Ryan G, yeah, you did get 8 points. 8 points for you. Ronnie says he got 4. Ronnie, you did get 4 points, and I can't see anyone else. So you guys are the only ones here, right? I will tell you now. The average is the lowest average I've ever seen in predictions. The average this week was 5.2. It's the lowest average I've ever seen. The average was 5.2 this week. So we'll start and I'll bring it all up. See where we are. Game number 1 was Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. Is everyone on the one sheet? And everyone's on the one sheet, so I don't have to go hunting anymore. Everyone's on the one sheet. So for this game, the home victories, Orange got you a point, and the home wins went to Jose Drula, Colin B, Shemtam, Ronnie, Ellie, Alan, Nita, Ian, and Neil. So we all got a point each, right, in the first game, and that was a 12:30 game. So you think to yourself, right, I've got a point. That's a good start. Wow. It went downhill for a lot of people after this. The second game was Chelsea 1, Brighton 3. Again, no one correctly predicted it, and a point for an away victory went to Ronnie, Ellie, Alan, Scott C, Paige, and Neil. All got a point. Game number 3 was Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1, and in here we had 5 correct predictions. So the correct predictions for a home win were only 2-1s. No one predicted any other sort of score for a home win. And the people that got correct score in this game were Jose, Vindaloo, Ellie, Neil, and Wayne Bonner. All got correct predictions for Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Let me just take the comments off. I don't know. Are you able to see it with the comments at the bottom there? Or do I need to take the comments off so you can see better? Because I can take the comments off for now if you want me to. I'll let you not tell me. Unless you can see it already. If you can't, I'll take the comments box off for the moment. Anyone coming in? Let me know. Can't see it. Right, there we go. You can't see it. It's done. There you go. Right, I've done it, Daz. Right. Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2. Now, I had 2-1 in this game, and I believe that Bournemouth scored in the 93rd minute to make it a 2-all draw, and therefore I lost my 2-1. So did some other people. But the correct predictions for this 2-all draw came in from David Shear and Neil. Both predicted a 2-all draw. Jess, Colin B, and Wayne Bonner all predicted a 1-all draw, so they all got a point each for that game. The next game, Man City 5, Burnley 1, it was a shutout. Everybody predicted the home victory, but nobody predicted the correct result. So you got a 5-0 in there, you got a 6-0, you had a 4-1 in there. But most of the people had the game to nil. So 5-1. Everybody who played at the week, everyone who played or took part scored a point at least. Then we went to one of the surprises of the week. Forest 0, Sunderland 1. Only 2 people predicted an away win, and that was Vindaloo and Wayne Bonner, and they both picked up a point each for it. Tottenham 1, Wolves 1 was the next game, which is the Saturday night game, which I missed because I was abroad, so I missed this game. For my sins on Saturday, after the mass and the funeral mass and everything, when I went out in the evening, we went to a bar to eat, and we watched the Atletico Madrid-Real Madrid game. Mad game of football. And then straight after that, it was Eibar versus Deportivo La Coruña, my team in Spain. So I watched that as well, and it was a 1-1 draw, which was quite a good result, and it was a good game. So I missed Tottenham Wolves. I've heard all about it. I watched the highlights this morning, and Wolves done well. Deserved a point at least from that game. So well done to Wolves. But no one predicted. It's a shutout, complete white there. No one got a point in that at all. Then we've got Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1. Again, there's orange there where people predicted the home win, but no one predicted the correct score. And the point went to Graham, Archer, Daz Reynolds, Ryan G, Ellie, Paul G, James, Ian, and Nick all scored a point in that game. Then we went to Newcastle. I had Newcastle to win 2-0. They were 1-0 up for ages. And then Arsenal scored 2 late goals, which then meant that the correct predictions for this went into, for Ryan G, Scott Colliver, Nick, and Chris Peters all predicted the 1-2 scoreline. And then you had 3 people that picked an away victory with a different score and picked up a point, and that would be Colin B, Ronnie, and Vindaloo. And then the last game of the week in the Premiership was Everton 1, West Ham 1, and the only person that correctly predicted a 1-1 draw was Nick. He's the only person that correctly predicted a 1-1 draw, and the only person that predicted a draw in that game, and he's the only one that scored any points. And then we moved on to the bonus games. The bonus games were good for some people and crucified others. So it was Como 1, Cremonese 1, and in this, the correct prediction came from Ed M, Paul G, Scott Colliver, James, Ian, and Neil all correctly predicted the 1-1 draw. And then a point went to Graham for a 2-2 draw. So well done those. And then you had Heidenheim 2, Augsburg 1. There's only a sea of green here. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people got the correct score. No one else predicted any other scoreline for the home win. It was a 2-1. Sorry, I'll tell you what, I've done Wayne out of a point. Wayne's got 4-1 right at the bottom, isn't he? Right, let me just change that. Wayne Bonner's got an extra point. I've only just noticed that because he had 4-1. Let me check that I've done this right. Oh no, I'll tell you what, I've done someone else out of a point. Nita has an extra point. Right, so I need to give Nita an extra point and Wayne Bonner. So let me go and find them. So Nita's actually gone to point above. And like this. And who was the other person that got a point? Wayne Bonner. Wayne Bonner. Right, it doesn't affect Wayne's position. Right, let me just change Wayne's score. Right, done. Right, so they're both changed. So yes, I've just changed Wayne and Nita, who both had home victories. One had 2-0 and one had 4-1. I thought it was something weird when I was looking at that. And then the last game was the surprise result was Atletico Madrid 5, Real Madrid 2. And the only person that went for a home victory in this game was James. James is the only person that predicted a home victory and therefore scored a point. Now, because I've had to add 2 more points, it doesn't make the average go up much further. So the averages this week are 5.3. So if you've got anything up at 5.3 or above, you've done well. Good morning, Mr. Shear. I hope you are well, sir. Mr. Shear, this week you scored 7 points. Well done, Mr. Shear. The average is 5.3. And you'll notice there's only one person got double figures, and that was Neil. He was man of the week, 15 points. He's the only person who got double digits this week. That shows you how low the scoring was this week. But, you know, at the end of the day, it means that some people moved up and down the tables because, yeah, there wasn't a great deal of points out there. So the points in order are: Jose scored 8, Graham scored 3, Archer scored 2, Jess scored 2, Drula scored 2, Daz scored 2, Colin B scored 4, Shemtam scored 2, Ronnie scored 4, Ryan G 8, Edem 4, Vindaloo 9, Ellie 7, David 7, Paul G 5, Alan 6, Scott C 8, Paige 2, James 9, Nita 3, Ian 6, Nick 8, Neil 15, Chris Peters 4, Tot Spurs, who won this the first year we did it, scored 1 point this week, and Wayne Bonner scored 7. So they're the points that these people scored this week, which means the league table looks as such. We still have 43 players playing. Wayne Bonner has an extra point because I've got Wayne Bonner's. I've done him out of a point. So Wayne Bonner now has 43 points. So Wayne Bonner now reads 5 correct predictions, 28 predictions, 43 points. But it doesn't move him up. So Wayne Bonner is in 27th. He's the only mover on this page. And then further up the table, the movers this week. Neil, with his massive 15-point haul, has pushed himself up into 25th place. James is up to 23rd. David Shear is up to 17th. Ryan G is up to 15th. Ellie, see, this is wrong. This is deceiving now because Nita got an extra point. So Nita now sits a bit further up the table. So for all intents and purposes, Nita should be green as well. So Ryan G, 15th. I'm going to say Nita 14th. She's higher, but she's gone green. Ellie has gone up to 13th and gone green. Alan is up to 11th. Scott Colliver, 2 weeks on the trot. Scott stormed up this table. He's man of the week last week. And the points that he got this week and last week have pushed him up into 8th place. So well done, Scott C. Nick's gone up into 6th. Ian has gone up into 5th. And the top 4 places have remained unaltered. You have Graham, who had a stinker this week. Unlike Graham, scored 2 points. Archer scored 2 points and is in 3rd. Vindaloo scored 9 points and is in 2nd. And yours truly scored 8 points and remains at the top, but it just means that Vindaloo's cut my lead by a point because he got 9 and only got 8. So well done to all you people that have partaken. And let's go to the comments because I can't see who's here. Right. Let me have a look. Let me get out of this one. And let me go to the comments. It'd be easier for me to see. Mad week of results, to be fair, says Ryan G. Yeah, David Shear says Neil G's cobber, well done. He did do well, didn't he, David? Then you've got pushing top 10, says Ryan G. David says well done to Neil and well done to Scott and Jose. We can't have a Guna win it. I know. I'm sorry, your comments come up now, David. I'm trying my best, David. I can't do anything more than try my best. But yeah, there was a mad set of results this week. The Chelsea-Brighton game, Chelsea winning 1-0, other players sent off, end up losing 3-1, threw a lot of people out. The Leeds-Bournemouth game, the Crystal Palace game threw quite a few people out. Leeds-Bournemouth, Forest-Sunderland, only one person scored a point in the Forest-Sunderland game. Tottenham-Wolves, Nobody scored a point in the Tottenham Wolves game at all. Nobody had a draw. Not even the correct draw. Nobody had a draw. Everton West Ham, only one person correctly predicted. No one else scored any points. Real Madrid Atletico, only one person predicted an Atletico victory and picked up a point. Everyone else got 0. It's been an absolutely, like I said, it's the first time, it's the lowest I can ever remember the averages being when I look across the board. And, you know, when you've got people like Tot Spurs scoring only a point, Graham scoring 3 points, you know, and you look at some of these people, their point scoring this week, it's just absolutely unbelievable. Who knows what next week will bring? Who knows what next week will bring? And just a reminder that is it week 7? Yeah, week 7's predictions. I need to figure this out rightly. So week 7's predictions are on Thursday at 4 p.m. Let me have a look. Right, let me see what I set it out as. David, you were lucky. Right, so week 7's predictions will be on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And then on Sunday, I've got a scheduled show with Chang because I've not done a show with him for ages. The results for week 7 will be on Monday. And then week 8, I've got the bonus predictions. I've currently got them in on Wednesday and Thursday. That may change depending on my work situation. That may change to Thursday and Friday. But the international break next week will bring us 12, which like last month, it should be 12 each day that we do. So we do 12 predictions on part 1. We'll do 12 predictions on part 2. Last month, when we had the international break, I made a mistake and I actually put 13 on one day rather than 12. So yeah, so there we go. Any more questions from anyone? Does anyone need to see anything before I end the show? Cool, everyone's talking football, isn't they? Look at that. Cool, there's loads of people on, isn't there? They're all talking football. You got a match reaction, the Irish Hotspurs, bloody Lily White Lane's on. Who else you got? We Are Tottenham TV are on at the moment. Spurs Danelist is on. Nigel Purecois is on. Last Word on Spurs are on. Chris Cowling's on. Yeah, there's loads of people on. That's why I ain't got many here because there's loads of people on. But who cares about the many? We will carry on. We will see. Daz says, do you think we will win the Ashes? To me, Daz is asking me. David is saying, hope everyone is fine. And David says better than the cricket, Jose. I think the key for Australia is their bowling attack. If they can keep their bowling attack fit, it then becomes a really tough task to go and win in Australia. If they can keep their attack fit, it becomes a tough task because the Australian bowlers, they're the best in their own conditions. I mean, there's not many people that go over and outperform Australia on their own patch with their players that they've got at the moment. I mean, but these players, probably for 2 or 3 of the bowlers, it'll probably be their last Ashes, I would have thought. But if they've got them fighting fit, it'll be a difficult task. I'd love to turn around and say to you, Daz, that I want to see Harry Brook and I want to see, Joe Root and the 2 boys at Open and, the players that come in, Bethel and Smith. I'd like to see them all really bat well against Australia, but they'll have to play really, really well. And yeah, as I said, if the Australians can keep their bowlers fit, then it becomes a harder task. If Australia can't keep the bowlers fit, then I think England have a great chance of winning or picking up a test or 2. Now, whether that's enough to win it all, I don't know. But what I will say to you, Daz, is I shall be watching it. And I'm sure my little friend on my shoulder, Mr. David Shear. I'm sure he'll be watching it as well. And I'm sure he'll be chirping in my ear non-stop while the Ashes is on, which I'm looking forward to. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the Ashes. I'm looking forward to the Ashes. 5-0 Australia, Daz. Come on, you know that cover. David is adamant that they're going to whitewash us 5-0. But what I will say is David is not Glenn McGrath, because Glenn McGrath would always, you ask Glenn McGrath to score, he'd always say 5-0. There was never any other score in his mind. He'd always say 5-0. They could lose 3-2 and he'd still say 5-0. So, but anyway, people, I'm going to love and leave you all. Thank you very much for watching the results show. I look forward to seeing a lot of you on Wednesday for week 7. And yeah, the sledge is alive, says David Shear. It certainly is. So thank you very much, guys. Have a really good evening. Have a really good morning for you, David. Have a really good day. Have a really good night. Enjoy yourselves, people. And I'll catch up with you on Wednesday. And as always, it's come on, you Spurs.
Tell, Cockerell. He's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerell. Leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell. He's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. Jose gets himself around. Always talking Spurs, wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell, Cockerell. He's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerell. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. Tell, Cockerell. The show is so chilled. Your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell, Cockerell. Goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerell. The show is so chill. Your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at.